In today's video, I'm going to go over exactly how to buy a business because I bought one last year. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Tanich. I own a marketing agency along with some other businesses like an accounting firm, which I'll talk about here. I also have a free weekly newsletter called The Midweek Marketer, where I give away one actual marketing strategy that I'm utilizing in my businesses, my clients' businesses. And if you'd like to learn those exact strategies, click the link in the description below, completely free. So if you're watching this video, it's most likely because you're trying to figure out how to buy a business. And like I said, I went and bought an accounting firm last year, and there were some pros and cons to it. But overall, I'm going to go over the exact steps that I took to buy that actual business. I will say this, there are a lot of people online that hype up buying a business, that it's passive and that it's awesome and blah, blah. It's work. It's a lot of work. I'm going to go over the exact steps, but the steps in buying the business or how to buy a business is pretty easy. After buying the business, there's a lot of work that needs to be put into place to actually make it happen. I don't want you to think that it's a walk in the park, super easy thing, but it is very rewarding if done properly. My accounting firm, for example, has grown 60% in the last year. And there was a ton of work up front, but now I actually am not having to do too much work on it. It is a lot of work, especially up front, but it is very beneficial in the long run. Let's go over the exact steps on how to buy a business. When you're buying a business, you have to very much think of it as a real estate deal. When you do a real estate deal, you have to find the property you want to buy. So finding the deal. There are a couple ways to find a deal when it comes to buying a business. Obviously, with real estate, you have Realtor.com, you have Zillow, that kind of stuff, or you have LoopNet to find commercial deals. So there's a couple different examples like that for buying a business. First one is Biz Buy Sell. So Biz Buy Sell. You have off-market deals, and then you also have offers that come to you, offers coming to you. Okay, so like offers coming to you, for example, is something where you're like, hey, I'm telling my friends or I'm in business groups and I'm talking about the fact that I want to buy a specific type of business and that offer comes to you. Off-market deals is you actually reaching out to local businesses that you want to buy. So for my example, reaching out to local accounting firms to buy those businesses. The other option is Biz Buy Sell. And I actually went through this option when I went and bought my business. Mainly because I was looking at it casually. I was thinking about buying an accounting firm and I found one that was for sale on Biz Buy Sell. So I reached out to them and started that entire process. I made a whole video on why I bought an accounting firm. And if that's ready, you can click on it here or here, and I'll have it linked in the description below. I also will have a video on how I grew that accounting firm, so you can click the link in the description below as well for that. I have a marketing agency and that's my main business. And you're probably wondering like, why the heck did he buy an accounting firm? I break it all down in that video for the exact reasons, but really the big thing is I've blown up a lot of clients' businesses and I just wanted to own a business that was going to serve me specifically because I need bookkeeping and tax help and stuff, but also because I noticed that was an area that a lot of people have issues with. Like I've never had a good accountant. And so I'm like, this is an area where we can really blow things up. Every other business owner I know hasn't had a good accountant or they have a horrible experience with accountants. And so that was something I wanted to fix by buying an accounting firm. So taking the marketing thought processes, the marketing strategies and stuff and blowing up an accounting firm. And so far it's been working. We've grown it about 60% in the first year. But like I said, whole video on that. If you want to watch that, you can watch that. After finding a deal, what you need to do then is get your financing in order. So financing. And there's a couple different options with this. You have a cash. So you can do an all cash deal. You have seller financing. You have a SBA loans. And you have commercial loans. Okay, so here's what's cool about buying a business. You can get very creative with the financing portion of it. With real estate, you have to basically put like a certain percentage down and then you get a loan for the rest. And maybe you could do seller financing if you find an off-market deal. Now, with buying a business, whether you find a deal on Biz Buy Sell, off market, it's brought to you, however, you can go as creative as you want with the financing. It also depends on the type of business. Banks are going to be a little different and SBA loans are going to be a little different based off of the fact of how many assets are in the business. If you're buying like an HVAC company, yes, you're buying the client list and all that kind of stuff, which is actually categorized under goodwill. There's no asset that the bank can take if you default on your loan. However, if you're buying like an HVAC business and they have vans, they have equipment, they have material, they have products, like all this kind of stuff, those are all assets the bank can take. Maybe they have like an actual office location that they own. So like the building, those are actual assets that the bank can take. And so they can leverage a loan against those. It just depends on the business, is how creative you can get. Now, with the accounting firm that I purchased, I did a mix of a couple different things. I did a small portion down cash. I did seller financing in a smaller portion, and then the rest was a commercial loan. I was going to go with an SBA loan, but I kind of ran out of time to get it done because SBA loans take a while to get processed. And on top of that, the loan payments are actually almost like double what I would have gotten with a commercial loan for the same amount of money that I was trying to get a loan for. So that's why I went with a commercial loan. However, because an accounting firm doesn't have a ton of assets, and I had to actually leverage one of my real estate deals that I have to get that commercial loan to purchase the accounting firm. A little convoluted, but like I said, you can get very creative when buying a business. So you found a deal, you have the financing in place. This is where you can start the conversations and start getting to the point where you can get an LOI out. So what's an LOI? Well, an LOI is a letter of intent. So basically what happens is whether you find a business on BizBuySell or you're trying to, you reach out to the owner or something like that, you're trying to get that initial LOI out, which is your offer basically of saying, hey, I will pay X amount and I want this, this, and this. To get to that LOI, you need to do a couple things. You need to sign some documents that state that basically, hey, you guys can show me your P&Ls and all that stuff, and I'll keep it confidential. So confidentiality agreements, all that kind of stuff. And then after you sign all that, then you can look at the P&Ls and any tax documents you want to look at and all that kind of stuff. It's just initial stuff, just kind of getting your toes wet in the deal. It's not all the detailed stuff that you're going to get in due diligence, but it's just some initial stuff. It gives you enough to be like, hey, do I want to buy this deal or not? Okay, after you look at the P&Ls and you're like, hey, this all looks good, that's when you can put that LOI in. And so, like I said, letter of intent, you're basically saying, hey, I will offer you X amount for this. This is how the financing is going to be broken down. Like, I want to offer the ability to get, seller financing for this amount. I'll do cash in this amount, and I will do financing in this amount. So that's the next step in the process. After you sign the LOI and get that off to the broker or the person you're buying the business from, the next thing is your due diligence. So due diligence. This is where you start to really dive into the numbers of everything. Now, in your LOI, you're going to put like, hey, we want to close on this date. Due diligence is going to this date. So typically it's like 60 days out or 90 days out is closing, and then due diligence is 30 days. Due diligence is similar to an inspector looking at your real estate deal. So you are looking at buying a property, you put your offer in, and then now you are basically locked in. You still have the ability to leave in that period. However, you have your inspector go in and then he'll look at everything. And he'll say, hey, the insulation needs to be 5 inches higher and this pipe is leaking and like all these issues. And then that's where you can go back if there's issues and say, hey, I want a lower offer for this deal. Due diligence is very similar to that. You can have a third party do it. So third party, or you can do it yourself. But again, this is basically an inspection on a real estate deal. You're just trying to find every little thing on this business deal that could be an issue or is an issue. You want all agreements. You want all tax statements. You want all P&Ls, like everything. Due diligence is that process. Once that time finishes, right, you'll have a certain amount of money that you need to put down before due diligence. So you sign the LOI and you put like goodwill money down, but you can leave within that 30-day period and get that money back. But after that, if you left, you wouldn't get that money back. Again, similar to a real estate deal. After you do due diligence, there is a period that due diligence has expired, and then you are going to be closing on the business. I don't know what that period's called, but I'm just going to call it period of transition. Basically, this is where you're talking with the owner and you're saying, hey, this is how we're going to transfer offices. This is how we're going to transfer platforms. Like this is how we're going to transfer logins, all that kind of stuff. So you're just working on the transfer over. After that period, you're going to go into closing. So closing is basically like a real estate deal. You sign all your documents you need for your loan. They hand over the keys to the business to you, and then boom, business is yours. You transfer the money, all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty straightforward process in buying a business. It's pretty much find a deal, get your financing order, review everything, get an LOI out. You have your due diligence, you have a period of transition, and then you have your closing. Buying a business or how to buy a business is pretty easy. It's once you purchase the business, what systems do you need to put in place? Who do you need to hire? Who do you need to fire? What kind of marketing you need to put into place? All that kind of stuff to really expand and grow that business. It's not passive. It's not something where you're just kind of set your money in and then forget it. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's a living, breathing thing, and it makes sense. That's exactly how to buy a business. If you want to sign up for my free weekly newsletter, where I give away actual marketing strategies that you can utilize in your business once you've purchased it, click the link in the description below. I also have that video on how we've grown our accounting firm by 60% in 1 year, and you can watch that here.